I doubt if there is any person of the last 4 generations who does not have a personal memory of the late legend Ali Birra, be it through his music or meeting him in person. An elderly woman from Borno once told me she married her husband without ever meeting him, let alone loving him. She was a shy young girl, and her husband was not a charmer either. So, the newlyweds had an awkward situation in the house. Sometime after the marriage was consummated, her husband, who happened to be a trader, brought home a new stereo player along with Ali Birra's cassette. Having nothing to talk about, the couple began listening to Ali Birra's music every evening. Ali Birra's Ushuru made me fall in love with my husband, she told me. I too have many memories of Ali Birra from numerous interactions I had with him. In his company, you can never be bored. He was witty, kind, and adventurous. When you were with him, you had a wise and caring uncle and a joyful friend at the same time. One of my fond memories was from our time together in New York City. Ali used to come from Toronto to visit us during my time in Columbia University. During one of those visits, we went out to dine at a Persian restaurant. A live band was playing. When the singer took a break, Ali got up, whispered to a band member, and picked up a musical instrument I had not seen before. He began playing the instrument and singing. In a few minutes, the band joined him by playing their instruments as well. Silence fell over the room as customers and waitresses alike stopped talking and began listening to the music he was playing. When he finished the first song and put down the instrument, he was asked to play more, which he did. And this was repeated several times. Even people who were not initially at the restaurant began arriving, some of whom appeared to have been awoken from sleep to come and listen. I didn't know what he was singing since it was in a language I did not speak. I asked a person at the next table, and she told me he was playing popular Persian songs. She said what amazed the listeners was that he was modifying the songs by adding Rumi's poems. They kept us at the restaurant way past midnight, frequently begging him to leave our table to play. Aside from the restaurant owner refusing to accept payment for our bill, several guests showered Ali with gifts. After we left the restaurant, I took him back to his hotel near Times Square. In his room, he gazed through the window and signaled for me to come over. He pointed to a group of homeless people sleeping on the side of the street. He then showed me the high-rise buildings and luxurious cars cruising through the street. He exclaimed, "This world is strange. So many homeless people at the epicenter of the financial capital of the world." Then he suggested we go talk to those homeless people on the street. When we arrived, he asked one of them to rent us his sleeping spot. The man was confused, but when Ali handed him money, the guy murmured, "As you wish," and moved to another spot. Ali took out all the money he was given at the restaurant and distributed it to the group of homeless individuals in that vicinity. He then came back and lay down on the spot he rented. I begged him to go back to his room. He refused. I joined him. He was asking and listening to the life stories of those homeless individuals. We stayed there until dawn, and it was time to drop him at the airport. Ali Birra was not just a music icon that transcended generational and linguistic boundaries. He was a humanist to the core. He was a curious person. He used to love quoting Khalil Gibran among other writers. One of his frequent Gibran quotes was, "Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls, the most massive characters are seared with scars." He never said it, but I think the quote defines his life journey. Today, it is 1 year since he left us. We miss you, Adiru. Picture Ali Birra visiting us in New York City.